All right. I'm here. I made it. I'm late too. Okay. Late. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. Ugh. Okay. All right. Thank you, brethren. Thank you for joining me. My channel. My name is Jacob on Israel Elijah. See, Penta, I don't think I've ever seen you before. Well, welcome to the room. Thank you for joining me. Oh, Mahalia. Oh, okay. That's your other name, Sepenta. Art. That's a good name. Yeah. Cosmonian goddess in the OAHSPE. Right on. Hey, bro. No, bro. You didn't make me do anything I didn't want to do. We had a good time talking. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. All right. Thank you, brother, for joining me. My name is Jacob on Israel. Welcome to my channel, where I love to just try to be a light while I'm in this reality. You know, me and my brother, we were talking about a famous guy that died today or yesterday, or Dikembe Mutombo. Y'all remember him? Dikembe Mutombo. He died today. Let me show his picture. Dikembe Mutombo. I love that brother. I loved him, man. Yeah, bro, Chuck, you right. The Houston Rockets. Yeah, but he played for Denver too. See his jersey there? I think you can see the screen. He had brain cancer. And me and my brother was talking about him. He was a real good dude, man. I didn't really know a whole lot about him, but he's gone. And he's in the spirit realm now. And the spirit, OAHSPE says that when they leave the earth, they, yeah, bro. Yeah, Rockets and Hawks are the Nuggets, Denver Nuggets. And the OAHSPE say that when a person leaves their body, they spend 3 days by their body. They spend 3 days by their body reciting anthems and prayers by their body, by their spirit body. I don't know how that works because you're in your spirit body, but yet the OAHSPE says your body, and I think it might be talking about your corporeal body. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the OAHSPE says that when he left, he's right now, he's reciting prayers and anthems by his, I would say, probably his corporeal body. He'll spend 3 days there, and then the ashar, from what I understand, we each have ashars, and then they come and get our spirit body, and then they hand us over to the ASAPs, called the ASAPs. And you know how, like, if you go to a hotel and you check in, the clerk at the front desk, that's the ASAP. And this ASAP assigns you your reality, where you go, based on your elevation, whatever your spiritual elevation is. And then from there on, you go to school. You go to school, spiritual school, and you learn how to live in the spiritual reality. And from what I understand, your relatives, they greet you, and they show you, the ones who have went on before you, they show you, they help you to make the transition from, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because really, y'all know more about this than I do. I know that y'all know more about this than I do. Matter of fact, that reminds me, let me put the link in the room in case somebody want to come on and you want to add to what I'm saying. I'm just going off of what little I know. And then you go to school, you learn, like the OAHSPE, it says you learn, like, do you know you learn how to, you learn how to dance? Hey, Chuck, you probably go to college prep classes on that. You learn how to dance. You learn how to do general labor. You learn how to do like measuring. You know, I think you learn how to like create your own food, if I'm not mistaken. You go to school for a period of time and you learn, and the creator, he has you go for a number of years. And then if at the end of that, you want to acknowledge, you want to subscribe, you want to learn, you want to, what's a good word for, uh, you want to subscribe to the creator, you want to join with the creator, you want to believe in the creator. If you want to acknowledge the creator, then you start on that journey of elevating higher and higher, like the Bible says, from glory to glory. And then the creator says that is a path where each day is the day after is better than the day before, and no 2 days are alike. That is the path that you brethren are on. Or if you choose, after all of that schooling in the spiritual, you do not want to believe in the creator, you just want to, you don't want to believe in the creator, then the creator basically says, okay, you're on your own. You become a wandering spirit. From what I understand, you become a wandering spirit. But the danger of that is a druja can get a hold of you and deceive you and dupe you to where you never learn until a long time goes by that there's far greater realities than the one that you are in. The danger of not believing in the creator is going into the spiritual under a deity or an idol, to where, and you're in your mindset where you cannot fathom anything greater for yourself. And from what I understand, people who go to the first resurrection, it's more glorious than the earth. And it's like, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody who hear this, it's so glorious there, they don't even want to leave that reality. See, if I'm not mistaken, the OAHSPE, you say things like, they can choose, hey, man, this is fine. I'll hang out here. This is cool with me. I mean, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, man, but I seem to read that, that atmosphere, the heavens, that they're more glorious, way more glorious than the earth. You hear a lot of near-death experiences of people, they're talking and they say, I don't want to go back. No, don't send me back, So see, we sell the creator short. In other words, it's like he's saying, hey, man, I got so much. You can't limit me, I can put you in a reality where every day is a blast. And then guess what? The next day is better than the one before. And no 2 days are alike. That's what he says. See? That's what the creator says, man. Now I believe that. I don't know about you. I'm sorry, but I believe that. You tell me something like that, then I'll spend the rest of my life chasing that dream. Now, I don't want to sound weird, but that's just the way I'm made up. I love to think about my parents and how they're in that situation. Right now, they're still infants in the spiritual. They're still learning how to live in the spiritual. They're going to end up at the end of their learning, their infancy in the spiritual. They're going to go to school. They're going to learn spiritual things. I mean, so far it's like I was saying, you start off like elementary school, you learn general labor, you learn What is it? I think it says something like even sewing or something like that, or you learn making your own food. You learn. I mean, and it ain't all work. The Creator said, you have to labor for a little bit, but you go to learn. You learn to become a benefit of you. It's like the Creator says, you learn to become self-sufficient. I should have that verse up, but I didn't expect to talk about this. Dikembe Mutombo passing away, cancer of the brain. And he was a cancer, zodiac sign. Beautiful brother, man. Just a beautiful soul of a man, Goodbye, Dikembe. Godspeed to you. I'll see you in the spiritual, brother. All right, so here's my room of Facebook, where it's a room for faithists and, to share scripture and to try to encourage one another, that sort of thing. Here's my mom has got a food ministry where try to target orphans. And it don't just end there. Any way that I can be a benefit, join in with maybe somebody knows, somebody, group of people, or they're disabled or they are elderly, I certainly would pitch in. I would help out, man, and I know that their brethren, they minister this way and they don't say nothing. They do it secretly. I know that they're out there, I just don't know what else to do, other than to, maybe some brother come across this video. He says, hey, man, I got a ministry going, you don't have to publicize it, but we trying to target, we trying to do it, under the radar, like the Creator want. He don't want you try to draw, he don't want, see, that's the way the Creator right there. He don't want you to try to, bring attention to yourself. See, like I was talking with my brother, if you want to be home free, you read the OAHSPE, learn to be self-abnegating. If you can learn that, brother, and you can stay away from deity worship, and you can put on this character trait, and it's hard in this country, because this country is all about their rights. Self-abnegation definition. We live in a reality like this. But the Creator says, if you can do this word right here, if you can do this, brother, you got a ticket to ride. You got a ticket to ride, man. Look at this. Denial. Now, I don't know about that word abasement. I don't think that's right. The Creator ain't asking you. I know what it means, why they put it in the definition, but when I read the OAHSPE, it's like the Creator, he don't want you to try to get out front. Take credit. He know that vanity, like the Bible says, man was made subject to vanity. Pull that verse up. Man was made subject to vanity, King James Version. It's one of the things about the Bible I believe is true. It says, for the creature was made subject to vanity. Boy, ain't that the truth. Not willingly, but by reason of him who has subjected the same in hope. Now, I don't think the Creator made people subject to vanity. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. So this verse here, I don't think it's talking about the Creator. I think it's talking about the gods who formed us, put us in bodies, making us, after their image, making us subject to outward influences that would dim the light within you. Dim the light, because it's going to get you to focus on you more than the Creator. Here it says he wasn't not willingly, meaning now I don't know. I'll read it. It says not willingly, meaning like we didn't want to be made subject to vanity. But here it also says, by reason of him who is subjected the same in hope. Now that to me sounds like the Creator. So this kind of confusing verse right here, I don't want to twist it. I don't want to force the scripture. But it does seem to be saying that we are made subject to vanity. And men are certainly vain, meaning that if they get an opportunity, we live in a world where people, if they get an opportunity to glorify themselves, they'll do it. If they have an opportunity to, benefit themselves, to give an advantage to, that sort of thing, it's the opposite of self-abnegation, which the OAHSPE Bible, it lifts up self-abnegation. That's a prized character trait, brother. That right there, that's the key to the kingdom right there. Those are Ethereans, man. Denial, I don't want to say abasement of oneself. Deny yourself, point to the light, the Creator. So again, here's my room. And then there are other rooms that I like to, if you listen to this video for the first time, maybe you came into the OAHSPE, you're trying to learn it. If somebody is looking at this video and you come across this video, you know what I would say to you? If you kind of like the impatient type, like I am, hard to be disciplined, sit down, read, study it, read the preface, read the glossary, read the history. See, some people, they're like that. They lay a good foundation, man, for their learning. Me, I jumped right in. I started reading it, then I couldn't, I go here, go there, word study this and that. I was like a dog let out of the house, tail wagging, running around in circles, jumping up on it, everything in sight, But if anyone is new and you see this video, I say go to the glossary, read the glossary. Read the glossary so that hopefully it can put a hook in you right away, because it's going to tell you about spiritual definitions, and it should hit home, if you can receive it, attain to the Creator's voice. So again, I'm sorry, here goes some other rooms that you can click on the link in the description box. And then just read the things that are being shared, meant for your encouragement. And so that you can also see that there are other brethren who are trying to run this race, it's hard. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, you in the situation, our society, it want you to, there are songs, that, tell you they minister to your ego, that sort of thing. They build up your flesh, and we trying to fight against that. Now I'm going to share some verses that I posted in my room before I get to the reading of the word at the top of the hour. Just some verses, I read at night, and then I like to try to share what I come across. And so, I have something else I want to share too. And I forgot what it was. Nazarene Essene Faithis, I know you're not in the room, but you sent me a video, and I know you're probably going to see this later on. But I saw that video, man, and it broke my heart. It broke my heart, man. And, to be honest, I know I'm a faithist. But I still don't want to live in a white man's world. If I were to be honest with you, I do not want to be in a white man's world. And I say the white man because for the longest time, looking back now, looking at the history of this country, it's been white people who have built up a system of oppression of people, black and brown people. I mean, everybody knows it. And in our day and age, you look at all the governing bodies and they're white people. And so they make laws they make statues that are going to benefit their own. So now the brother, he sent me, I'm going to show this, okay? Brother sent me a video, man, and well, maybe I shouldn't, does it need to be shared? We already know there's evil in the world. OAHSPE said, don't even report it, And I fall down flat, I know, trying to keep that commandment. And it ain't nothing but another reason to get to the flesh, so I won't share it. But I'll say the video. I'll explain. I don't want to tease you like that. It was a video where in Alabama, the name of the video, it was called Slavery by Trapping into the System, Prison, where you send somebody to prison, and then in Alabama, they got a situation where they farm out free labor. They farm it out. Pay the inmates pennies on the dollar, send them out to Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, tell them to go to work. Then the state takes out its pound of flesh before you get paid. And then you got to pay taxes. So you may work, you may make $1,000 and then take home $200. That was the name of the video. It was something called Alabama Slavery by Trapping in the Prison System, something to that effect. And it just confirmed the struggle that we have to overlook these things, to forgive these things. And that now I wanted to share something too. It just came back to my mind where the creator, he basically says now let me see if I can find it. I might have posted it when in the room and shared it. And this is a good thing to remember, man, Now, I don't know. I probably won't be able to find it. You brethren, I know you know where it's at. How the creator, he says that basically, matter of fact, I think I do have it in the room. So let's go to my room. Let me look at my room. Okay. Now, let me see if I can. Matter of fact, I'm going to do the verses. And then when I come across it, I'm going to embellish on it. Okay. Now, here's my sister first. She shares. Oh, wow. Look what she's talking about. Here I am talking about this, and then this type of stuff comes up. I don't think she's addressing what I'm saying. You see how spiritual things work? I didn't expect her to even be talking about this. I'm talking about living in the system as a minority and the oppression and affliction that we come under. She does a study called Reparations and posts it in the room, and I didn't even, you see how these things work, Well, that trips me out, man. It just never fails. I could even talk today about now you got me going, man. I want to share. Today I took a little ride, get out, get some fresh air, smell the roses, But before that, I'm trying to find a minivan, a wheelchair accessible minivan. And yesterday I came across some information, found out there is a company, by me out here a couple miles away. So I made up my mind today, go down there and see what I could find out, about getting a minivan, transport my power chair. The vans you see, side entry, they roll up in there, put the chair in there, they drive off, I'm trying to get one of those. So, hey, Cherise, sister, good to see you, girl. Glad you're here. I hope I bless you. So anyway, I went down there, and talked to the guy, and, he said, what's your plan? I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and take out a loan. I'm going to trade in my minivan that I got. I said, I'm trading it in because I can't transport my power chair, So I want to get me something where I could, roll up in there, take my chair with me. Then I'll be home free, And I said, I'm getting ready to go ahead and, take out another loan. And the guy said, hey. See, he was in a wheelchair. The salesman was in a wheelchair like I was. The place was a mobility place, right? Now, I'm sharing this because the creator, he worked like this. The creator, he works like this. It's up to you to recognize it during the day, See? So there I was. And I said, I'm going to take out a loan, I just paid off my minivan, a couple weeks ago. Now I'm traded in and I'm going to take out another loan. And then I'm going to get what I want. Some new model, minivan. Roll my chair up in there. I'm good to go. I said, that's my plan. The guy said, hey. He said, hey. He said, slow down, My mom used to always say, now, Kurt, you're going to have to slow down now, And so I listened to him. He said, let's do it like this. He said, let's see if we can get you a minivan, a new model 2024 for free. He said, let's see if we can get you a 2024 for free. He said, are you a veteran? I said, yeah, I'm a disabled vet. He said, hey. He said, don't spend any money. He said, I work with vets all the time. He said, you can get a brand new power share. Minivan. You can get one for free. I said, yeah. He said, yeah. And he said, do it like this. Now, I have to be honest with you. I don't got no faith that it's going to turn out. Now, I shouldn't say that. I should speak faith and let the creator work it, and I'm trying to do that. And I'm going through the process. He said, do it like this. He said, get your primary care doctor to say, yeah, he's in a power chair. He's been in one for 4 or 5 years. Periodically, he has to come down to the VA, he has to make appointments. And it would be a great benefit for him to go ahead and be outfitted where he can carry his chair with him. It would be a lot less, it would be easier for him in his life, He said, send off, get the authorization, get a doctor to write, and then send it to this place. And then they'll come and test drive you, see if you're telling the truth. And then you should be home free. You should be able to, they will say, yes, verify the guy, he needs share. Now, I'm just telling you all this because now it may not work out at all, but I was still grateful. See, I thank the creator. I thanked him when I left, even if nothing to work out, even if nothing at all work out. Because he worked like that, I got it in my mind, nice warm day, wind blowing a little bit, why don't you get outside and go get you a veggie hot dog over at Wiener Schnitzel. So I did, And then I said, you know what? I'm going to go to that place and see if they can do something. So I went to that place, the wheelchair place. And then looking back, I said to myself, the creator, that's how he orchestrates things. You don't even know what's happening until it's said and done. And the OAHSPE, the creator, he talked about, I should have been trying to find that verse. I wanted you to see what the sister posted. So in the OAHSPE, it talks about inspiration. The creator, you do things, you think it's your own mind, and then you look back and you say, you know what? That was the creator telling me what to do. And I wasn't really paying attention. He put it in my mind. So I just got up and I did this. I thought it was me. I went and did it. It turned out and it was better than I expected, And then I had my own plan. I was working my own plan. It didn't get nowhere, And then I get a thought, that's the creator working, man. I perceive that's what Brother Cosmin, or not Cosmin, but Daryl was talking about on his video. I watched a little bit of it, the brother's video he did on consciousness, basically making the point how the creator is you. He's in you, how he inspired you, how he inspired you. I think one thing I'm learning, see, I read where the creator, he's the creator. You come up with things in your mind and he create to bring it to pass. That's what the creator do. He said that's how he worked. He said, so that's why you don't blame him for your situation. Because you come up with what vibration you under, what you want to do. He said he works to bring it to pass. See? He gives you over your free will, like it's not my will, I would say, to be in a power chair, but I am suffering the result of my choices. See? Same for you, same for everybody, Now you say, but I didn't mean it like this, but see, he don't spare you from the consequences. That's how the creator works, man, from what I can understand. He works for you. He says he even calls himself a servant. Matter of fact, now I got to find that. I got to take time. I got to take time to try to find that because I want to show you. See, the creator, man, the creator of the OAHSPE Bible. He's showing you who he is, man. Let me see if I got to find this. I got to find it. I know the creator's going to help me, man, because I got to show this. You brethren probably already seen it, I want you to see this. Man, I hope I can find it. Let's hope we find that verse I'm looking for, because I want to show you how he described himself. How did the creator describe himself? Now, he called, oh man, it's 251 mentions. Oh shoot, this is going to be hard to find. It's going to be hard to find. Brother, I'm doing a word search. I'm looking for the verse where the creator, he called himself a servant to you. Oh man, it's going to be hard to find it. I can't spend too much time on it. Doggone it. What book was it in? What was I looking at? I probably shared it in the room because I read it and then I probably posted it. Let's see what this is. Sounds interesting. It says, are my gods and lords servants to an evil world? Shall they find only rottenness to deal with? Now I have answered in the firmament of my sons and daughters. I've called them from remote places in heaven to witness the work of my hand. For as I made the earth and its heavens, so do I rule over it to the same end for which I created it. Okay, let me keep going. I want to find that. Heavenly Yoey, please let me find that verse where you said that you are a servant of our desires. I can't do it on video. I'm not gonna. Oh man, I want to find that. I didn't expect to bring it out, but I want to look for it. See, it's a common word, so let me see. What did he say in addition to this verse? He said he called himself a servant to us. He turns us over to our free will, and then he works to accomplish it. That's what the Creator said, man. Can you believe that? I love this account right here. This story right here is talking about the conversion of the subjects of false gods by the show that the Ethereans put on. Can't go into it now, but here's the book. It's well, let me show you so you can at least see the book. It comes from Sue. I think no, or this might not be the account. I thought it was looking at the verse, but it might not be. Let me see. It's going to be too hard. No, I better stop. I ain't getting nowhere. Well, at least I hope y'all can at least see the verses. You might come across something you like and stop the video. Just make a note of the chapter and the book number and the verse. I'm not going to be able to find it. I can't keep going on like this. It's a great verse though, man. The creator says that he works according to our desires. It's something that you wouldn't think that the creator is. That's why I'm trying to take pains to try to find it. Oh, I will. I can't do it. I can't go into this now. It's too okay. I can't find it. I gotta stop because I'll spend the whole video. So hopefully I posted it in the room. So let me read some things from the room that I shared. I'm always jumping in the middle of a thought when I post these verses. I like to try to find things that are really good to hear, that are really encouraging, but I also post things that are kind of like, beware, beware of this, beware of that. Now here it says, then God stretched forth his hands in the triangle. So this is talking about the triangle. You see how celebrities, they've caught on to some of these spiritual things. You brethren, you know that. See, look at this. Why do celebrities show a picture of the triangle? The eye of providence. Let me see you see that? Look at that. The pyramid, maybe. They do the sign of the triangle. See, look, they got triangles here on the dresses. The triangle's everywhere in these movies. I bet Ace and S, you know all about this stuff. Michael Jackson, star, all the triangles, Look at that. Triangle here, triangle there, triangle everywhere. You can't see everything. Triangle. False gods, they hand down this knowledge. There's evidently some type of power behind it, or they wouldn't be doing it. So it says here, then God stretched forth his hands and the triangle. Oh, I lost go back to the verse. Okay, it says, then God stretched forth, this is God, he stretches forth his hands and the triangle became fixed and solid. And God hung it on Hage's neck, adding, in the name of Jehovah, receive this jewel, the triangle, as my parting testimony. Remember that when mortals were raised up to understand this symbol, of 3 and 1. So when these celebrities are doing it, it's supposed to depict 3 and 1, but they have a triangle of their own. I bet. You know what I mean? I think so, bro. Let me let me go on the let me ask the AI. Let me ask the computer. Is the triangle a sign of the Illuminati? I bet you it is. Well, yeah, the eye of providence. But let's see if we can tie the Illuminati. It might be too much. Illuminati symbol and images. What have we stumbled onto here? Illuminati symbols and images. There's triangles here. There's a triangle up there, up top. Triangle here, triangle there. Triangle, triangle. See that? Illuminati. Triangle, triangle. Eye of the all-seeing eye. See? Triangle, triangle, left eye, right eye. You know, Ace of that, you know all about this stuff. See, there's some power behind it. It got to do with dominion over, secret societies. They're secret because there's something about them they don't want you to know. And so you got to think that Satan has got something to do with it. And it's got to have something to do with subjugating your brother, having power over your brother, giving them self-power and giving power to those who are like-minded. The triangle. So from what I understand, these false gods, they go to school. See, mortals, when we die, we got to go to get, school. And I read in the OAHSPE where the creator, he talked about schools of training for gods, or, people who are going to become gods, and they get knowledge. So they take that knowledge and corrupt it and give it to man, so that the end result is that you worship them and not the creator. All these things point to that. They get power this way. Mike Tyson, he's got that over his eye, that all-seeing. I forget there's a name for that eye, I forget. That's called Eye of Horus, I think. The Eye of Horus. But anyway, let me get back. I don't want to get, I'm stuck. I don't want to get stuck. Anyway, the symbol, the creator says, is for the 3-in-1. 3-in-1. Now, I forgot what the OAHSPE 3-in-1 is. I forgot. If somebody in the chat know, put it in the chat. How the OAHSPE describes the triangle. Because I forget what the 3-in-1 means. I know it has something to do with the creator, and we're all tied in, to the creator. I can't, specifically say, but yeah, bro, that's an Illuminati symbol for sure. They show you right out there in front, look at this triangle. See, I'm hooked. That means I'm plugged in, secret society, that means that they're going to promote my work and you're going to worship me. And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to promote the secret society. Only my records are going to get played, I'm going to get all the, oh, Dave, there you go. Thanks, bro. Thanks, brother. Yeah. My old buddy bailing me out again. Thanks, Dave. The seen, unseen, and motion. The triangle stands for the seen and unseen and motion. But I think that false gods, they use it, they give it to their people, and it's got to be some type of power behind it. And they use it and give it to their people, and then their people are the ones that you see on TV. They're the top entertainers. Top, I can't say top athletes. I think that, let me digress for a second. I think that I do think that athletes, that they can sell out and be given special powers and abilities, sell their soul. I think that does happen. And usually you hear about them having to make a sacrifice, in order for their greatness. And then people are making a big deal out of Michael Jordan's father, that he might have been made, I don't know. Those are dark things. I can't really say, but I believe that I wouldn't put it past the fallen gods, they give their people signs and symbols so that they can let you know, hey man, I'm plugged into the dark side and that's why I'm able to prosper. And so other people, young, unenlightened people, hey, that's cool, man. You mean to tell me that if I get plugged in, I can be on top, and a lot of them take that deal, remember Matthew 4, remember? Here, we should look at that again because this happened. You know that this happened. You brethren, you know good and well that this happens. Then he showed him the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them and said, all these things have been given to me and I will give them to you. King James Version. See, Matthew 4, remember that? Y'all remember that? Don't think that that was like, well, that was back then, that don't really apply to today. Satan is still alive today. Satan is us. He is us. When we subscribe to the evil side, when we listen to the flesh, but we also have influences. There are angels who influence us to do things, Satan things, See, Matthew 4. Now I believe that a lot of people who have power, they take this deal right here. See this deal? See that? That deal? That's a deal right there. Hey, you know what? If you worship me, I'll give you all this. I'll give you all this. Here the account right here. Verse 3, and the tempter came to him. He said, if thou be the Son of God. Now, again, and then verse 4, he says, but it is written, Jesus Christ, which I don't believe existed. I believe it's a narrative. I don't believe that Jesus Christ of the New Testament existed. I believe there are 2 or 3, quote unquote, Jesus Christ. Zarathustra, Joshua, Yesu, if I'm not mistaken, but those are like gods. And from what I understand, just like the Old Testament, I learned that that the Old Testament is a compilation of many different writings. I know that the Creator, he don't claim the Bible. The Creator, he do not claim the Bible as his word. Isn't that a bold thing to say? He don't claim it, man. The Creator don't claim that's his word. And look at the word, look at the deception in the world. Now, I believe people who are unwillingly ignorant, they come into mercy. My sister, my oldest sister, all she did was spend time alone reading the Bible. But the Creator, he can use it to bring people to himself. But some people, they won't budge. They won't budge. Verse 4, and he said, it is written, man shall not live by bread. The tempter, verse 3, and the tempter came to him and said, if thou be the Son of God. Then verse 5, then the devil taketh him up, saith, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down. Verse 8, kingdom, show him all the kingdoms of the world. The devil taketh him up to an exceeding high mountain, showeth him all the kingdoms of the world, the glory of them. He saith, verse 9, all these things I will give thee if thou fall down and worship me. So now you see why there are people in the world. They have special type of power. They take that deal, they take it, and he gives them the kingdoms of the world. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If you see it some other way, let me know. I'd love to hear it. To me, I don't even think it's hard. Personally, I don't even think it's hard to understand. You take that deal, you get the kingdoms of the world. I think that can go for anybody. I mean, this ain't nothing new. I'm sharing, I mean, everybody knows this stuff, And so it says, remember that when mortals are raised up to understand the symbol of the triangle, 3 in 1, the seen, the unseen, and motion, then Cosmin will begin to dawn on the earth. And Cosmin began in 1849, the Cosmin era. It says, here's another something I posted. It says, millions of Ethereans on God's staff have been in such scenes before, now stood in glee, firmly ribbed. Now, remember, I'm jumping in the middle of a thought here. It says, you're going to see why I posted it, though. Let me share the screen. All right. It says, millions of the Ethereans on God's staff had seen such scenes before, and now stood in glee, firmly riveted by the joy within them. So it's talking about a resurrection. It says, to them, 101 clung to the newly raised from the earth, who had never known any other heaven. So this is talking about a resurrection. To make a long story short, because it's time for the reading of the word. And it says that here's a part of this that made me want to share this. It said, let me read it. It says, millions of Ethereans on God's staff had seen such scenes before, the resurrections, and now stood in glee, firmly riveted by the joy within them. See, they're receiving new spirits who are elevating, and the Ethereans who are already elevated. It's a great scene of joy and rejoicing to see. It's like a graduation. It says, to them, 100 to 1 clung the newly raised from the earth. It's like those who are elevating, they made a beeline. So 100 of them were hanging on one Etherean, It's like they were so happy and joyous. And you know how people, they celebrate and they immediately gather around somebody and they jumping up and down and all that. It says, he says, 100 to 1 newly raised spirits clung to the newly raised from the earth, who had never known any other heaven except the atmospheric heaven that travels with the earth around the sun every year. So we have a situation where people are breaking out of the bondage of thinking that religion was the highest heaven. They breaking out of it. They realizing it's way, way more. It said, from these there arose millions of whispers saying, it is like a new death, like a new birth. Behold, a man dies on earth, and his spirit flies off to another world. And now, yet again, it flies off to still another world. Talking about the spiritual atmosphere. You go to atmosphere, that's one level. A lot of people stay stuck there because they're under a false god. They're under religion. They don't think there's anything higher. These people broke free, and they discovered a whole new reality, you got this level, that level above that. It's endless, man. You talking about the glory of the Creator, man. It says here, this verse, different verse, it says, behold, I've set this day. Okay, so this is talking about the new year, June 21st, according to the OAHSPE. I know Jamia, she said that she was struggling, I think, with between spring and summer, because there's another verse that talks about the beginning of all things. But here, the Creator, he says that, during the time of Satantes, the New Year day was set, June 21st. That was the day that the sun, what does it say here? That's the day the sun takes its course, from the northern hemisphere to the southern, if I understand that correctly. The equinox, the summer solstice, rather, represents the new year. Summer solstice, according to the OAHSPE. See, New Year's Day, June 21st. How do you like that? It says here, behold, it is good. Your toil and seclusion away from the lords of the upper heavens are severe. So we have here an Etherean God who volunteered to come to the earth and raise up others. So this verse, it says, behold, it is good. Your toil and seclusion away from the lords of the upper heavens are severe. Hard job, brother. But you are fashioning the love of millions who shall bless you. And while God sojourned here, his hosts regaled themselves with the company of the Ashars and Asaphs and the kingdom of the Lord. and great was the love and rejoicing among them. It says here, the prophet said, behold me, I am the God of heaven and earth, and my words come out of the mouth of it says, the prophet said, behold me, I am the God of heaven and earth, and my words come out of the mouth of this, my prophet. And it's talking about keep holy the 4 days of the moon, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, full moon, the new moon, or, the 4 changes of the moon during the month. The Creator says keep them, for they are the Lord's days. Do no evil, strive for wisdom, do good. When you're dead, behold, you shall live, for I have places prepared for you in my heaven. Rejoice and be merry, for the Lord lives and reigns. Then, another verse, there are people who are continually talking about the reality we in right now. Right now, man, people continually destroying one another, quarreling, killing for their respective religions. Christianity, like with what's going on in the world, those are religious wars, really. What's Russia, Ukraine, those are brethren fighting. Mohammedanism, Israel, that's Christian, Mohammedanism. And Brahma and Buddhism even has a history of killing off one another. And this OAHSPE talks about that as well. It says their people are continually destroying one another. They quarrel and kill for respective religions. Setting aside your commandment, you shall not kill. They love their own nation and hate all others. Ain't that America? They set aside your commandment, love your neighbor for yourself. Here's another verse. It says, when an angel of Jehovah came to them and said, behold, now this is talking about the plight of people who cross over and they can't believe that there's anything better than the deception that they're under. They can't believe it. They don't know anything better. And the Creator, he talked about it right here. So he's jumping in the middle. It's like he's saying, this is, you get somebody under religion, they under Jesus Christ, they under Mohammedanism. This verse talking about them. It says, when an angel of Jehovah came to them, religion, Christians, and said, behold, this is only one heaven, of which there are millions. They would not believe. They would not believe. And when he said to them, behold, this heaven, with all its magnificence. See, earlier, that's what I was talking about. The place where people cross over to, the OAHSPE says they are filled with magnificence. He's talking to people, they cross over, they want to stay there. He said, behold, this heaven, this atmosphere heaven where the one that travels with the earth around the sun, this heaven, behold, this heaven with all its magnificence. And the angel says, this is only one of the lowest heavens. But it say they would not believe. They would not believe. See, their mind would not let them. Their mind was bound. It was bound up. That false God, he had bound up their mind so that they refused to believe anything else. That's the power of a false God. Christianity, man. They won't budge. They will not budge. Okay, late for the reading of the word. So here's some things. I'll just show you. Then you can stop the video. I love this one. That's why I posted it. I will proclaim that what you have taught me. That's my channel. That's basically all that my channel. I just try to proclaim what I have been taught, right or wrong. I just try to do my best. I just try to proclaim what I have been taught. I love to just try to proclaim what I have been taught. Here's another verse. I can't, you can read it. Stop the video and I'm late for the reading of the word. So these are all, So let me go ahead and give a couple more, then you stop the video. And remember, copy and paste the link in the description area. And I like to share the different rooms. I like to share with them the things that, so come and join us so that you can daily, you can read these things, for the sake of just preoccupying your mind. That's what it's all about. Preoccupy your mind. And that way you don't give Satan a way to come in and influence you, Okay, so something my sister, she likes to post positive things. Okay, so again, time for the reading of the video. I'm late, so let's begin with that. And I chose to share from the book of HAK. HAK, OAHSPE Bible. Very, very, this is a rite. This is an oath. It's like a template of how, it's really, the way I look at it, it's like the Creator is showing you a desirable character, it's a desirable attitude, That's what came to my mind reading this. And these are rites and ceremonies, rites and ceremonies like they have in the world. People, they reach another level, they go through a ceremony and they take this rite in order to be a part of a certain fellowship. They got to take this rite, then there's a ceremony, a rejoicing. And so here's one of them. This is one of 3 rites and ceremonies. One of 3 rites and ceremonies. This one is called the degree of the golden chamber, And it kind of reminds me, I don't know why there even needs to be rites and ceremonies, but in the military, you have people, say like, officers, they make sure they distinguish themselves. They walk around with they love showing you that I am a level above you. They get off on that. Now, I will say they have a greater degree of responsibility and they're outfitted to lead, and so they're chosen, and, you just have to, they glorify themselves in the things that their uniform. It's, there's a degree of glory that goes with the type of uniform you wear. There's some that show, hey, this is the upper crust. And then there are other identifiers of the uniform that show that you are not part of the upper crust, as just the setup of the world. I think the same is true in the spirit. I don't think the Creator, he means to make people feel less than anything. You know what I mean? I don't see that in OAHSPE. But I believe that there are brethren who they strive and they try to become, they want to be elevated. And I think that the Creator, he acknowledges that. I could be wrong, but I think that when you, the Creator, you done laid down a template, and that's a good way to examine yourself and to see if you're elevating or not. And good way to see what the Creator, where you stand in relation to the Creator. You read these things like this, rites and ceremonies. This one is called HAK. It's the dark or degree of golden chamber. I don't know what that means. May the Creator bless the reading of his word. It says, this then is the upper chamber of the panic age, and the golden chamber of the second branch, Chine. The gods and saviors of this day, the foreheads of the beasts, stand within the chamber, just as the idolaters of the ancient days had other gods and saviors who in those days stood in the chamber. So you get a picture. You're in a large concert hall, and everybody is gathered. The righteous and the unrighteous, and the unrighteous are in the corners. That's the picture that we're kind of given here as what we read here. They're within the chamber, the beasts, the foreheads of the beasts. They're beasts of antiquity, they're present day beasts, Cephas, the time of that which is established, the foundational things. So now it says now the south, that's a righteous direction from what I understand. North, south, east, and west, those are righteous directions. But northeast, southeast, southwest, southeast, those are unrighteous directions. Now, from what I understand, let me say this real quick. Let's say that, let's say that you are somewhere and you're in a place where you know what north, what south, what east, what west is. And then you know what the corners are: northeast, southeast, southwest, northeast, Now the OAHSPE basically says somebody coming to you out of the north is righteous. Somebody coming to you out of the northeast is unrighteous. So I want to give you that picture as we read here. Now here we see somebody out of the south. Okay, it says, if a man does evil, it takes root in him and will be entailed on his spirit. It says, even into the next world. But if a man practices righteousness, it will also take root, and his spirit will become like a star of glory in heaven. Now, out of the west, it says, if a man courts evil. So basically, it's saying, these are truths. This is righteousness, saying this, if I'm not mistaken. If a man courts evil companions in this world, he will find them also in the spirit world. But if he constantly seeks Jehovah and so do his will, he shall find happiness both here and there. And he shall find happiness. There's the operative word. Because we all want that. We want happiness, man. He says, but if he constantly seeks Jehovah, if a man constantly seeks Jehovah and to do his will, which is serve your brother, and go about in sincerity and truth, it says he will find happiness both here and hereafter. And now out of the north, it says if a man ministers to others, so will he be ministered to by the angels of heaven. But whoever would grow in all gifts, let him labor to become one with the Father, and the Father will grow him forever. There you go, right there. That's the key right there. And from the east, he says, I bring a man naked into the world, says Jehovah. But I provide others for him in his infancy, so that he may be fed and clothed. Ain't that the truth? But when he is strong and wise, I command him to provide for himself, so that he may be an honor and a glory in my handiwork. That's only right. It makes sense. He says, let no man shirk from the trials I put upon him, for in doing so, he robs his own soul. So we got to go through it. Whatever he lays out for us, we go through it and we benefit ourselves. Something we can learn from it. Now here in parentheses, it says the Goli and initiates now march 3 times around the tablet. Okay, so it's giving us a procedure when taking this oath or doing this ritual. It says, when they have arrived at the west, the Washitagas sound the gong and they halt there. And then the west says, who comes here? And the initiate says, the faith is in Jehovah. And then the west says, who is Jehovah? And then the initiate says, the great spirit who is over all, within all, the potent and unseen. It is he who is ever present, quickens in the life and all that live. Then the west says, where is Jehovah? The initiate says, everywhere, nor is there a place without him. The west says, what is his form? And the initiate says, no man can attain to know his form. And then the west says, what is his extent? And the initiate says, no man can attain to Noah's extent. And the West says, is he a person? See, now that's where the Christian is going to fall down. See what I mean? He's going to fall down because what is he going to do? Yes, his name is Jesus Christ. The correct answer here is no, he is not a person. But the initiate is going to explain it differently. See why? She says, the West says, is he a person? And then the initiate says, inasmuch as all living are persons, so is he, the all person of all things. Inasmuch as his ever presence quickened into life all that live. So his ever presence with the living, seeing, hearing, and feeling every word and act of all men, women, children on earth and in heaven. So, see, if you even just sat down and would reason it in your mind, a person can only be like one place at a time, in the sense that, corporally at least. You know what I mean? The Creator can be, he's already omnipotent. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's what I'm saying. See here, a Christian, a Mohammedan, a Buddhist, a Hinduist are going to fall. You're going to fall down. You won't be able to take this rite, this ceremony. The West says, what interest do you have in him? Now, it says him, referring to the Creator, for the sake of conversation. But he's not to be looked at as a him, as a person, as a man, The initiate says, he is my Father. He is within my soul. And I am within him, and a very member of his person. Then the West says, where did his name come from? And the initiate says, as the wind whispers, E, 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 E. As the wind whispers E in the leaves and utters, oh, and the ocean surge, and then the thunder above, and E in the winter shrill whistle, so came the name Eoi, Eoi, which has become Jehovah and Eloi, and Elohim, and Winohim. The West says, how was he discovered? The initiate says, the angels of heaven taught him to man, taught man of him. And the West says, who are the angels of heaven? The initiate says, people who once lived on earth and other corporeal worlds. And Dave, if you're still listening, I'm going to ask the doctor Wednesday, because I want to know too, what he's going to say about Siddhantes, how he had to know what corporeal life was in other worlds, because it said that in the study the doctor did, he said that he did not know a corporeal life. So I don't know if you're still listening, but I want to let you know that I want to hear the answer to that. You say that he had to know what corporeal life was because he, hospitals and nurseries in the spiritual realm, and the doctor, he said that it could be a correction to the doctor. So I can't wait till Wednesday because I'm going to ask him. And then I'm going to let you know. So here, keeping going on, it says, the West says, let me read this back up. Okay, you still here? All right. So I just wanted to let you know I remember. It says, the West says, who are the angels? That was a good question, bro. I like that. I can't wait to hear the answer to that. I think it may end up correcting him, I mean, it was him trying to summarize the OAHSPE, so the brother is trying to do a good work. So it's up to us to point out some things he may not know about. So it says, who are the angels of heaven? The initiate says, people who once lived on earth or on other corporeal worlds. And the West says, what is their form? And the initiate says, even as mortals, but being perfect in their order. Now let's read the footnote. The footnote says, only Jehovah is perfect or immaculate in all ways, but mortals and angels can become perfected in their order. Now, I don't fully understand that. He gives some references here, some footnotes, but I can't take the time to go into them. Now it says perfect in their order. I don't know what in their order means. Well, anyway, going on, the West says, where is heaven? Where is heaven? The initiate says, worlds unseen by mortals fill the ethereal firmament above. These worlds are heaven. These are the spirit worlds. These are the ethereal worlds. These are the abodes of the spirits of the dead. The West says, how did the angels come from heaven down to corporeal earth? These are good questions, ain't they? The initiate says, in the Danha, that's the enlightenment. It's like when you go in a room, you turn on the light. That's a definition of the Danha. Like Danha, a time of enlightenment, is called spiritually a Danha. It's like a atmosphere we go through, a realm, if you will. How's a good way? It's like, say like you have a fog that comes on. And it's like a atmosphere. It's a time of enlightenment. How about that? It's an influence on men's minds. An enlightenment. The question again was, how did angels come from heaven down to corporeal earth? He says, in the enlightenment, the Danha, they come direct. At other times, they come through familiar spirits. The West says, who are familiar spirits? The initiate says, our fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, and other relatives and friends who have not been dead long, and other spirits who have not learned of or risen to the heavens above earth's atmosphere. Many of these abide on earth and with mortals, some for a few years, some for 100, some for 1,000 or more years. How do you like that? Your relatives abiding with you, you can't see them, That's a hell of a thought to think, man, my parents could be right here with me right now. I just can't respond to them, can't see them, but they're here. I wouldn't be kooky because the OAHSPE is saying it. The West says, what is an idol? The initiate says, anything having form and figure that is worshipped. See, this sounds like faithists here. These brethren here sound like faithists. These are faithists talking here. They get questioned, they give them faithist answers. See? You see how religion can get tripped up? Look here. It says, the initiate says anything, an idol is anything having a form or figure that is worship. See, now the Christian, he's got to bow out. No, I don't believe that, man. No, what is, man, I'm out. I'm check y'all later, man. Y'all kooky. Who is God? Jesus Christ. The initiative, see, Dave says, I would say in their order to mean their position, job, or industry. That helps, but still there's a question. Let me see. Okay, I think in their order. Okay, now it's like, let's say I have a job. Okay. Now the footnote, let me go back up, read the footnote. It said, only Jehovah is perfect or immaculate in all ways. But mortals and angels can become perfected in their order. Now, Dave says their position, job, or industry. Okay, now I would take that to mean, that must mean something like, I'm the perfect chef. Let's say I'm a chef, right? Now, that's my order. I'm a chef, right? Now, being perfect in my order means that I'm at I'm a PhD. I'm at the top of my profession. I'm perfect in my order. Now, we read where the Creator, he was saying that, let's read it again. He says, even as mortals, he says, let me see. The West said, what is their form? The initiate said, even as mortals, but being perfect in their order. Now, the editor, he added that. What is, let's see, who are angels of heaven? The initiate says, people who once lived on earth or other corporeal worlds. Other corporeal worlds. What is their form? The initiate says, they're like mortals, but they are perfect. They're even as mortals, but being perfect. He said, who are the angels of heaven? But that's not true for all angels, though, right? There are angels, unrighteous angels, right? Now, this must be referring to righteous angels then, right? Who are the angels of heaven? People who once lived on earth and other corporeal worlds. Okay, now, angels, righteous and unrighteous, that's true for both of them. So now the West says, what is their form? And then the initiate says, even as mortals, but being perfect in their order. So are you perfectly unrighteous? Is that what it's saying? There are those who are the righteous order, those who are the unrighteous order. They're perfect in unrighteousness. What it sounds like, you know? It don't sound like no middle ground. You know what I'm saying? And then they pick up, the West says, where is heaven? And then the initiate says, worlds unseen by mortals. Fill the worlds unseen by us, humans. That's where heaven is. There are worlds unseen by humans, by mortals. But they fill the Ethereal firmament above. You look up, that's heaven. The Ethereal worlds is up there. We can't see them. They're populated with Ethereans. These worlds are in heaven. These are the spirit worlds. These are the Ethereal worlds. These are the abodes of the spirits of the dead. How did the angels come from heaven down to the corporeal earth? And the enlightenment and the danha. They come direct. And other times they come through familiar spirits. See, remember 1849, the Fox sisters, that was a form of direct revelation. The angels, the Rochester wrappings. What about the OAHSPE? What about the direct revelation of John Ballou Newborough? Was that not a form of direct inspiration? To us, it is indirect inspiration. Is it not a time of danha? Is it not a time of the exposure of religion, the beast kingdom? That's how angels come to us. It's the angels who influence and give us this information. The West says, who are familiar spirits? The initiate says, our fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, other relatives and friends who have not been dead long, and other spirits who have not learned of or risen to the heavens above Earth's atmosphere. So these are our relatives, and they don't know of higher realms as of yet. As of yet. Said many of these abide on earth with mortals, some for a few years, some for 100, and some for 1,000 years, before they recognize there's a higher reality. There's much, much more for you if you want it. The West says, what is an idol? The initiate says, anything having form and figure that is worship. The West says, who is God? The initiate says, the spirit with heavenly throne, believed by people in darkness to be the creator of all things. Familiar spirits often call themselves God, and top mortals call them that also. Who are saviors? So see, again, man, these questions is going to hurt a Christian or a Mohammedan or a Buddhist, or it's going to hurt them. It's going to hurt you, man. You know, and it's like the creator, it's like the creator, he gives me the idea like, okay, are you sure that's your answer? You sure? You know, you a Christian? Are you sure you a Christian? Who's your God? Jesus Christ. Are you sure? Are you sure? Is that what you want? Jesus Christ. Are you sure? Bible. Are you sure? I'm asking you, are you sure? Because I'm trying to tell you, you're making a mistake. But I got to respect your free will. Are you sure? Jesus Christ. Are you sure? Jesus. Bible. Now, it's heartbreaking, man. It's bitter. It's very hurtful for me to say it like that. It hurts your soul, man, because you don't want people to be deceived. It hurts you. You know what I mean? It's very painful. It's very painful, you know. It's very painful. But you know that the Creator is all going to work out, because false gods, they got to turn people, they got to restore these people. They eventually, ultimately, now that's the good thing. That's the good news right there. But it hurts when it's, you know, you're learning about these things. Who are saviors? The initiate says familiar spirits who have kingdoms in atmosphere, which by the ancients was called lower heaven. Saviors are tyrants who make slaves of other spirits. See there? See? Saviors. Saviors are tyrants. They're tyrants, man. See? All because you believe that they are who they say they are. If you believe that, you're going to do what they say. You ain't going to know no better. You ain't going to know no better, man. And, you know, you see what men are like in this reality. If they can rule over you, you're going to get abused. You're going to get abused. You're going to, like the OAHSPE says, you're going to gather their food, you know. You're going to do their bidding. You're going to crawl on your hands and knees. That's what I read in the OAHSPE. That's why I'm saying it. This ain't my imagination. You know, I mean, you just don't want your brethren, you don't want people to get duped. It says, who are saviors, familiar spirits who have kingdoms in the atmosphere, which are by the ancients were called the lower heavens. Saviors are tyrants who make slaves of other spirits who believe in them. Their slaves are sent back to mortals as guardian angels or familiars in order to make captives of mortals after death, to augment the Savior's kingdoms and atmosphere. So here you are. You've been taken captive. There he is, Nazarene Essene. Brother, I was sharing earlier in the video about that video you sent me. And I was saying on video, man, that even though I'm a faithist, I'm telling you, that video you sent me about Alabama and modern day slavery, how they farm out prison labor, and it's mostly Negroes. I'm telling you, man, the thought in my heart that cropped up, it made me say again, man, I don't want to live in the white man's world. I don't want to, man. You know, I was going to show the video, bro, and I just decided, nah, you know, that was, you know, it was bad enough to even talk about it. But it brought back some painful memories, man, looking at that video you sent me. But I thank you anyway. It made me crave the kingdom all that much more, because we got to stop this oppression of our brethren. We got to put an end to that, man. It's got to stop. It's got to stop somehow. It's got to stop, man, of all races, man. We got to put an end to. It ain't just the white man. We got to put an end to all the tetracts. It's got to come to an end, man. You know. But I digress. Now, verse 40, it says, "How can man escape the toils of false lords, gods, saviors, and familiars?" Now, if this is probably the most important question of the reading. You know what I mean? This is certainly one of the most important questions that anyone in the world can ask themselves. How can a man escape the? I mean, this is something you should think about. Now let's read the answer. He said, he shall covenant with Jehovah every day of his life and serve him by doing good works to others with all his wisdom and strength. Nor shall he call in prayer in the name of a Savior or God or any other spirit, but on the Great Spirit only. If he does this and he eschews contention, war, leadership, you want to be up front. You really want to be bowed down to. Earthly gain, love of money. You love money, man. You'll fake this, but really, you know. Now, I know in my heart why I'm gonna say what I'm getting ready to say, but I ain't gonna tell y'all. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trust that the Spirit will send what I'm gonna say to who I mean it for in my heart, in hopes that you will repent. Right? When you sell products that are outrageously priced to your brethren, when you make merchandise of your brethren, why do you deceive yourself? When you know you did it for earthly gain, why do you do that? When you make merchandise of your brethren, why do you do that, man? You see what the Creator says? He says you're supposed to eschew that. You know what I mean? But you want to make gain out of your brother. You see? An earthly aggrandizement. You promote yourself. Everybody look at me. Hey, like a little girl. Daddy, look at me. Now for her, it's quite all right. But for a grown-ass adult, you should be putting away childish things. Look at me. Look at me. Hey. I want to cuss, but I ain't going to do it. It says, you eschew all these things. Eschew them. Ethereal angels will come and guard him in the name of Jehovah. See? You see? How can a man escape the toils of false lords, gods, and saviors, and familiars? How can we do that? Jehovah said, follow me, and I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. Follow me, and I will take care of the things you can't see. Remember, we were talking about the triangle, the Creator. He is God. He is Lord. He is ruler over the scene. See what Dave posted there? Let me share it again. The triangle. You know how people do the triangle? The Creator. He is ruler over the seen and unseen and motion. It means that he'll take care of the things that a faithless can't see. He'll keep you from being duped. He will guard you. It says, and guard him. See, you keep away from these things. Keep away. Stay away from these things right here. Get it out of your mind. What's a good word for hate it in your mind? learn to hate it. And may God help us, man. May God help us. May God help us. Help us to hate these things. Please help us to hate these things in our soul. Because then ethereal angels will come and guard him in the name of Jehovah. The West says, who are the Ethereans? The initiate says, spirits who have risen above the bondage of the earth and this atmosphere. Spirits who can come only to mortals who have attained beyond earthly desires. These are Ethereans. Ethereans, man. They have attained beyond earthly desires. How do you like that? These are the Ethereans, man. The West says, who are Ethereans? The faith is the initiate. He says, spirits who have risen above. See, this is how we can answer anybody on earth. These are the things a faithist would answer. Spirits who have risen above the bondage of the earth and its atmosphere. Spirits who can come only to mortals who have attained beyond earthly desires. These are the Ethereans. They have attained beyond earthly desires. They have attained beyond earthly desires. The West says, has it not been said, do not swear at all? The initiate says, Jehovah says, swear to your Father in heaven every day of your life. And if you fail to keep your oath, you shall renew it on the following day with repentance. But in all swearing it shall be for perfecting oneself and for the glory of the Father. What the West says, you have spoken, you passed the test. You passed the test. He said, you have spoken wisely. Go then to the east and stand upright before Jehovah and pray or utter an anthem of praise to him so that he may be glorified in you and your guardian angels. Have honor in their pupil. He passed the test. See? He passed the test. Now he's going to M. Who's M? M. It says the M and I. Now they passing the tablet around. So evidently they're standing around like an altar or something, and they're moving from like north to east to south to west, if I'm not mistaken. This is part of the ceremony. So it says, now let me see, because it's time for the end of the reading of the word. Let me see how much further I got to go. Okay, this is kind of long, so I'll pick it up tomorrow. This is kind of long. Yeah, I ain't gonna have time. So, okay. So I'm gonna pick up, let me make a note of this so that I can pick up tomorrow. This is long, so it's time for the end of the reading of the word. Let me mark where I'm at. Okay, page 1351. All right. I came to the end of the West. Okay, so I can pick up tomorrow. I'm going to pick up with M. I don't know who M is. M is yet. I'm going to pick up part 2 tomorrow. All right. Well, shoot, man. That's the end of the reading of the word. Let me put the link in the room to see if anyone wants to come in, have a conversation or talk, or, I want to thank you for joining me. And I love, man, what do you guys think about the reading? Do you have anything you want to share on it or say? See, what I get out of it, it's like, he's showing us. He's showing us also the danger of religion. I'm sorry to say, well, I can't say sorry to say. This is the word of the Creator. This is the word of the Creator. And you can see how religion is going to fall down, man. Master Initiate. Thanks, Dave. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. So tomorrow I'm going to pick up with Master and Initiate. This is going to be, man, this is good reading. It's like a way you can test yourself, really. Your overstanding. How would you respond? See, these questions. It's what it is. It's like what, to me, what it's showing you. How would you respond? This is how we, if somebody were to talk to you, they ask you questions. How would you respond? I love the end here. He said, you have spoken wisely. The West says, you have spoken wisely. Go then to the East. That's where Jovi is, or the master, the initiative, from what I can see. You passed the test, friend. You have spoken wisely. Go then to the East. Stand upright before Jehovah and pray or utter an anthem of praise to him, so that you may be glorified, so that he may be glorified in you. And your guardian angels have honor in their pupil. Your guardian angels who are watching over you now, they can say, hey, yeah, Jaquad, that's my boy. Dave, that's my boy. Nazarene, Elijah, Mahalia, that's my girl. That's my girl. She did it, Now we go to the next right, and we go from glory to glory. See? We get more understanding now. See? That's what it is. That's what it is, you see? These rites and ceremonies. Giving you a little taste. This is what it's all about, See, this is knowledge that really, it's a bittersweet thing, man, because we on the earth, to me, the Creator is showing you the type of knowledge that's going to be, we got to get it down into your spirit, so that your spirit answer for you. Say, we can approach from the north, south, east, and west. I want to be able to answer. You do too. See? All right, well, shoot, man, that's the best I can do right now. And that's going to let that conclude the reading of word, brethren. Man, oh man, oh man, that was beautiful. Thank you, Creator. That blessed my soul, It was kind of bittersweet talking about what I talked about earlier today, the video the brother shared with me, and how we taking advantage of our brethren, making them work for free, and they're mostly Negroes. And, just really, the nationality, it's not really important because we're all children, but it shows you how when we left of ourselves, we'll take advantage of one another. That's the bottom line right there. We'll take advantage of one another. We think that we getting away with something. That's what you showed me, Creator, that I wanted to get upset at the video the brother sent me. The prisoners getting sent out to work for free. They get paid, but they get most of their money taken. You know what I mean? And it just, when you look at it, you can get mad. You can get in the flesh. But I thank you, Creator, that you gave me the wisdom to let me know, hey, you don't need to worry about it. Yeah, it's going to make you mad, but I showed you in my word that these people get dealt with. You take advantage of your brother. You may think that you got away with it. You're going to get dealt with. You're going to get there must be 100% recompense made, to those prisoners, to anybody, everybody, all over the earth, the oppressed, the afflicted at the hands of tyrants and kings and rulers and governments and congressmen and senators who are just having a feast in this day and age. The powers that be, they are getting paid. They know it ain't a stinking thing you can do about it. They give you a bunch of lip service about how great you are and how great a country it is. And they throw patriotism and entertainment and mom, God, and apple pie in your face. And the Creator says, you know what? You ain't fooling me, not even an inch. You're not even, The Creator says, you just keep running. You just keep walking. Don't worry. You're going to see the end of the wicked. You're going to see it, whether in this reality or eternity. You're going to see it. So you just learn a lesson, keep running, try to do what is right, and look forward to the grace to be given to you and your brethren and sisters when I'm finished. That's all you got to do. Well, that's the best I can do for right now. Nobody has anything, then I can go ahead and tomorrow I'm going to pick up. Now watch me go and forget. I'm going to pick up tomorrow part 2. So brethren, thank you for joining me, Creator, and just can't thank you enough for today and the things I learned today. And so brethren, Creator bless you, give you wisdom. There was a prayer that I wanted to mention too, that the OAHSPE says to say over you, brethren. I got to find that. To repeat, to say that, when situations like this, say it. It's like say these things, over your brethren. So I have to find that. So, all right, that's the best I can do, brethren. Thank you for joining me, Eoe. Thank you. Pray you cover my brethren cover them with the endurance, the wisdom, knowledge, and to be a light to help them to be free and to be protected from the days ahead. It seems that AG is in the land. AG, where you say in the OAHSPE that it's a time of chaos, it's a time of death and destruction and the end of the kingdom of men. And it seems like we're already in it, and that the density is going to increase. And I seem to see in the OAHSPE where you deliver your people, and you have mercy on them and grace, and we ask the same thing in this reality, that you afford us the same mercy should the kingdom of man decides to destroy itself. So, brethren, you bless my soul. Thank you for joining me. Until I see you again. What are you doing coming in late, brother? Good to see you, brother. Until I see you, brother, again on video, the Lord be with you all. Shalom.